Imagine you're at the casino and you win a bunch of money in the slot machines, but then you can't actually get your winnings. We'll explain, tell you what's going on coming up in a live report.
Had just glass all over my face and my eyes and blood.
And a woman in Macomb County injured and demanding answers after she says a water jug was thrown through her windshield while she was driving. A closer look at the damage coming up.
And well, a slightly cooler day today. We do see even cooler weather as we round out your weekend. We'll also see our next chance of showers too, so we'll have timing on that and your forecast coming up.
Working for you. Fox 2 News at 10 starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fox 2 News at 10. I'm Dave Spencer.
And I'm Hillary Golston. We begin with this story. People spending a lot of extra time at Hollywood Casino in Detroit today. There was a problem with the machines, and apparently it put a pause on some payouts.
That's not good news. We got calls into our newsroom throughout the evening on this problem of people being stuck at the machines. Fox 2's Camille Amiri joins us live with more on exactly what happened. Why were they getting stuck, Camille?
Yeah, this is quite a story. I mean, imagine you're winning big in the casino at the slot machine. You're ready to hit that button and get your cash payout, and you can't get the money. You're just sitting here. Well, that's exactly what happened today. Take a look at some video. This is inside the casino. This all started around 4:15 today, and everyone was playing and everything was going great, and then until it wasn't. So people are stuck waiting to try and get their money. People just not knowing what was going on until they actually found out from the casino what was going on, and they explained it as there was just a glitch in the system, that it wasn't exactly anything wrong at the casino per se, but more so with those slot machines. So we talked to somebody who waited more than 2 hours to get her payout. Take a listen.
I went to cash out my ticket and the whole machine locked. We looked around and everybody's machines were locked. After we had been waiting for about an hour, they came over the speakers and said, hey, everybody attention, there's been an outage. If you are trying to get money out of your machine and you're unable to, just please be patient. You'll have to wait for a hand pay from an attendant. In the beginning, there was only about 3 attendants that we could see on the floor, and they were bouncing from machine to machine with no rhyme or reason. And then in the last 20 minutes, they started to go through a grid formation and go bay by bay by bay. And luckily, we were in the bays that they started to do that at 2 hours in.
Yeah, so everybody did get their money, but they had to wait. She waited over 2 hours, but we talked to a gentleman whose wife was inside waiting for more than 4 hours to get her payout, literally just hanging out at the machine. Definitely a headache for people. You got to imagine people have places to go and people to see. It's Saturday night, and it is springtime in Detroit. Reporting live from downtown, Camille Amiri, Fox 2 News.
And Camille, I have to assume that the Michigan Gaming Control Board is probably going to be looking into this because it's unusual for this to happen. It sounds like people that were relatively patient in dealing with it and kind of took it all in stride.
Yeah, and they did. You know, Courtney said she had some time to spend with her dad and her husband while she was waiting. We talked to another woman who waited a little over 2 hours, but she was in good mood. I called her, and then she called me back when she got her money, and she seemed almost, you know, in a good mood. So, I mean, it could have been a lot worse, but again, this is not something that happens very often, and they did figure out the problem. So if you went in a couple hours later, the machines that weren't affected were fine. So, but it was just that certain amount of time when everything froze up, and then everybody was in a very long waiting period to get their cash. Hillary, back to you.
All right, Camille Amiri live for us tonight. Thank you so much. What a bizarre one.
Yeah, speaking of jackpots, we kind of hit it yesterday weather-wise.
We really did. Temps were in the low 80s, and it felt completely different than today,
Totally.
even though our actual temperatures are still a little bit above the seasonal high this afternoon. So when you compare 80s to 60s, you're going to get that difference for sure. Even though our high temps, at least according to what we're looking at now, we hit that earlier on in the morning, closer to midnight when we hit that 70-degree mark. Otherwise, we were hanging out in the upper 50s, lower 60s through a good portion portion of our day today, and we're still there right now. We're in the low 50s in the city, 54 in Toledo, mostly 40s from about just west of the city. So Lansing, western parts of the state, maybe even a few 30s sprinkled in there, but it is getting a little bit cooler. Winds right now directly out of the north. They're a lot calmer too than what we saw today. So we will see those relax and actually continue to remain relaxed even through Easter Sunday itself. And we don't have much on radar, which is great. So quiet, at least in terms of precip for the next 12-ish hours. Now we do have some rain just south and west of us into Missouri. There is a possibility of seeing some of that clip us as we head through tomorrow afternoon. A lot of us bottoming out in the 40s, so it is going to get chilly overnight, but we have a nice rebound as we head through tomorrow afternoon. Most of us will hit the mid-50s. We do see 70s on the way. We'll show you that extended forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Hillary.
All right, thank you so much, Stephanie. We have to talk about this. We don't know what the beef was about, but we know a teen in Detroit was stabbed this afternoon. This happened just before 4:30 in a park at Wickham and Pickford. Now, police say a group of teens were fighting when one of them was stabbed and then later taken to the hospital. At last check, she was in stable condition. No word on what sparked the fight or if any arrests have been made. A woman from New Baltimore says she was just driving to work when her windshield was completely shattered by a water jug.
Yeah, she claims it was completely random and unprovoked. She's sharing her story with Fox 2 now, hoping to catch the person responsible and to warn others.
Why? Just why would you do this? It makes no sense.
A bruised and battered Cheryl Rabine is waiting for repairs to her minivan, which is now covered with a yellow crash wrap at a Chrysler dealer. Confused, angry, and injured.
Yes, I had just glass all over my face and my eyes and blood. And
she says on Friday she was on her way to work, driving down 23 Mile near Card Road in Macomb Township.
Another vehicle was coming up, and he kind of erratically got into the turning lane. And I thought it was odd because in the area there was no place, subdivision, no business or whatever to turn into.
It was around 4:45 in the morning when she noticed the driver of another vehicle had its window down and was holding something out his window.
It just all happened so fast. It hit my windshield, and the windshield, blew in and had glass. I was covered with glass. Liquid, at the time, I didn't know what it was.
She says that was a water jug, the impact of which shattered the glass, injuring her face and her eyes. Somehow, she managed to pull over into a nearby subdivision and call 911.
It was dark at the time, so that's all I could see, and everything happened so fast.
However, she wasn't able to relay much information to police. And that's the issue. The victim in this case says it was likely a dark-colored truck, and she's hoping that someone watching now may know something about this crime and then call in a tip to the Macomb County Sheriff's Office. Today marks 2 weeks since a 17-year-old was last seen in Inkster.
Yeah, her family has likely been incredibly worried about it. Police, even the FBI, have now gotten involved looking to solve the disappearance of London Thomas. The teen was last seen on April 5th when her sister dropped her off to meet her 23-year-old boyfriend at a house on Carlisle. Now, on Thursday, Inkster police and the FBI were searching that home.
Actually, it's the second search warrant that they've executed. I'm not exactly sure why. My clients have been cooperating, and anything they need, we're here, because our main goal is finding London. That's what everybody wants.
Terror. It's a horrible, horrible nightmare. We don't know what to do. Somebody knows something, and they're not saying what it is, and it's going to come out.
Family and volunteers have also conducted a number of searches for Thomas, including looking through abandoned trailers, wetlands, and some woods in Westland, where her family says her phone last pinged. Now, if you know anything about where London might be, call police or Crime Stoppers. That number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. There's a $2,500 reward for information that brings this girl back home to her family.
And Dearborn Heights police are also asking for your help to find a missing teen who might be involved in sex trafficking. Crime Stoppers here is offering a $2,500 reward for information that helps bring Tasia Keaton back home. The 16-year-old was last spotted on Beach Daily and Joy back on March 17th. A few days before that, we're told she ran away from Vista Maria. That's a facility which helps kids heal from trauma and provides a safe place to stay.
At first, we were angry at her for running off, of course, because she was supposed to stay put so that we knew she was safe. And now it's just we want her found. That's all we're worried about.
Officers say Tasia may have cut her hair or even dyed it purple as she's done in the past. If you see her, please call Dearborn Heights Police.
Well, we have much more coming up. Talks over Tehran's expanding nuclear program, what Iran and the U.S. are saying about discussions happening this weekend. Plus, is Iran enriching uranium?
And it was an event that was definitely all it was cracked up to be. We're taking a look at the egg drop at Canterbury Village. Woody.